Ahoy there, Gwent fans. I'm Dead Broke Nerd, and I have a really fun deck to show you guys today. I have gotten back into playing Gwent a fair amount. I got to watch the Gwent Challenger last weekend. It was a blast watching some of my favorite content creators cast, specifically McBeard and Flake, who I always love watching their streams. I love watching their content as well. And I've been playing a little bit of Gwent in the background of several other games, just sort of, kicking back in the evenings and relaxing with a little bit of Gwent. What was really cool is that this month, at the beginning of September, they released a new patch for this new season, and it was really, really fun for my favorite faction, which was Monsters. And the reason why is they reworked a lot of the vampire synergies to work together a little bit better, as well as the leader, Detlef van der Aretine, our fearless vampire leader. Really reworked him to play around the bleed mechanic, something that didn't really have a whole lot of love, to be honest. And so this guy has been awesome to mess around with because now he does bleeding for 3 turns as his ability. He can do it 3 times in a game, and once they're all used up, he gets a little vampire as a little bonus. So Detlef has been played at the more competitive level alongside sort of a bleeding engine build, but also using the big monsters. So, the giant package, basically spear tips and spear tips and Osrels and Goliaths and all those sorts of things. But I really wanted to mess around with a full vampire theme. Okay, I wanted to really dive into the almost like a cosplay deck. We're just gonna really role play vampires here as much as possible. So I stuffed it full of as many vampires as I could find, or at least as many vampires as would make sense in a list like this, and it worked really well, predominantly because I'm using the Crimson Curse. Okay, so the Crimson Curse is such a cool card for a round 3 finisher, sometimes even a round 2 if you're pushing your opponent. And so it basically allows you to blow up one of your vampires and then give a Blood Moon to both of those rows, which will boost a random vampire on each row by 2 at the beginning of your turn. Obviously, 4-point per turn engine. Once you can get it down, it kicks butt. You just have to make sure you set up well for it. Like I said, it's really, really fun. It's really pretty good. You get cards like Wispus Tribute to be able to tutor out your Crimson Curse, which is organic. We've also put in the Parasite as another way to be able to have another organic card if for some reason you have both and still want to get value out of Wispus Tribute. So obviously you can see there's a lot of fun stuff. Caranthir is really, really cool for my new favorite card, Necarat, which is kind of the bronze engine. This is a huge boost to the deck because now, what was before kind of a difficult card to play, now can give bleeding 2 as an order ability, and it does have Zeal, so you can use it when it first comes down, which is big because a lot of times it gets killed early, but at least you do get that bleeding 2 first. But then every time you play a vampire, it reduces the cooldown by 1, so if you keep playing vampires, which this deck is doing, you can keep putting out bleeds with Necarat. So it's a lot of fun. Caranthir allows you to pull another Necarat out. You can also pull some of the other things like Arcane, which is a growing threat whenever at the end of your turn, if there's a bleed, you grow by 1. There's just a lot of cool things you can use it with. You can even use it in really good fashion with Oriana. Now Oriana is kind of the big payoff. She's always been this way. There just wasn't really enough bleed to make it feel like it was worth it. But now, with all the bleeds, all the vampires, Oriana can grow by like 4-5 points every turn, especially when you want to use her alongside of all of the charges from your Detlef leader ability. So anyways, guys, I just figured I'd share a game or so with this deck so that you guys could look at what I've been playing and hopefully give it a try and get that vampire role-playing action going for yourself. Anyways, this is Love at First Bite. If you enjoy it, feel free to comment and tell me what you liked about it. Tell me any ideas you have for changes. Like the video and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I have videos for all sorts of things: Gwent, Hearthstone, Elder Scrolls, Legends, and I'm even getting started playing Mythgard. So anyways, hope to see you guys around. Enjoy the game. All right, looks like we got a game. I'm real excited for this. I've been enjoying the crap out of this list. It's just really fun, man.
One Piece.
Just going all in on a theme like this can be an absolute blast. Alright, so looking at this, we definitely want to get rid of one of our Wild Hunt Riders. We love seeing the Necarat early. Plumard 1, two Garcanes. I think we want to get rid of one of the Garcanes. And that gives us an Alp, which just really isn't super helpful. It's not a card that's going to be super good until we get the Crimson Curse down in the last round. So unfortunately not the card we really wanted to see right away. That's okay though. We see Queen Adalia is going to spawn and play a base copy of a bronze unit from the hand, giving it shield. So this is going to be the Centurion Spellweaver, which is a mage engine. So, with that in mind, I think we're going to go ahead and... Well, now I'm tempted to go Catachan, if only to thin with the Wild Hunt Riders. But I'm also looking at potentially just dropping the Neckarat. The only thing is, I think if my opponent's smart, my opponent will probably want to use the tactical advantage in order to deny me the dominance for Wild Hunt Rider. Unfortunately, Wild Hunt Rider is just so much worse in the opening rounds. I think we're going to go ahead and grab... go ahead and with Neckarat, okay? We're going to drop it on the Centurion Spellweaver. Go ahead and give it that... burn damage over time, the bleed damage, excuse me.
Dignified work. My arm.
I'll be very interested to see. That was 3 zaps, and the ability. Yeah, this is just not going to go well, is it? Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't annoyed. We're going to go ahead and play Garcane. It is an engine. It'll go up to 5 at the end of this turn because there's a bleeding unit. We're going to see if this gets removed. If it does, we're probably forced to pass through. Well, I mean, we don't have to pass now, but we're probably not winning the round if this gets killed. The Centurion Spellweavers, such good openers, especially when you can support them with the other cards that you've got, like the Envoys. Okay, we're actually pretty close to our blood-drenched quest, which is cool. I think I want to go with... We definitely want to bleed some more. So whatever form that takes, we need to do it. We could go for Oriana and boost up the number of bleeding enemy units. So I could go all in on that plan with like a Plumard. I could really just use the leader and we try to push really hard for this round 1 victory. It could work. It's gonna be tough though. And the only issue is that of course it can hurt here. We're gonna go for it. Duration equal to number of vampires. Maybe I'm gonna play the Plumard first. Or maybe we go Catachan. I'm gonna go Plumard. So we're gonna go Plumard. We're gonna give bleeding to this Spellweaver. And we're gonna pass. So this is gonna grab my Garcane again. And we're just again kind of scoping out the waters, trying to see how much our opponent's gonna commit here. So right now, if both of these live, we'll be able to drop a bleed 3 with Oriana. That would be pretty darn good in conjunction with our leader. In fact, it would be a bleed 4 because our leader, if we used all the charges, would spawn an Ekamara. I don't normally like to use Dettlaff really early in the game because it's such a strong ability, but with an engine sort of strategy like my opponent's here, it could be very, very difficult to play around. The Kaedweni Revenant is a big problem, so I think I might actually go Regis and remove it. So that he can't start doing some crazy stuff there, especially with these mages. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to Regis this and pass again. I think the way that I need to try to play this game against Northern Realms with all their engines is to try to win this first round, or at least, you know, push to try to win this first round, and then push them on round 2 as well. I think... Even though I'm not playing the Giants package, I still do have some really good, solid, beefy plays, like with my Crones and stuff like that. So, alright, we're going to go with Oriana here. I think we're going to... I may not have to go Oriana. I could kill the Centurion Envoy with the Cyclops. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I think we're going to go... We're going to chuck a vampire at that guy just to try to control it a little bit. Play a little bit of contain. Stop him from getting those extra charges out. Our original plan of going Oriana ended up not, like, we may still do it, but right now, like, we didn't have to go all in on it as early because our opponent kind of had some slower plays in here. Trying not to use Henselt, trying not to use as many golds. Like, my opponent's played 1 gold, wants to save the other ones if possible for future rounds. Probably contemplating passing here, and if so, I can't say I'd blame him. We definitely want to get the round 1 win, though, because we want to push pretty hard on round 2, I think. Sabrina Glevaseg. Burn everything by 2. That's a bit of a pain, I gotta be honest. Especially with the spell weavers there. So, alright, I'm going to go with the Oriana play. Arcane's going to grow to 7. Yeah, so we're going to go bleed. Bleed. Oops, I should have put on the other one. That's okay. Actually, that's another thing. I should have put this bleed here. Oh, that's okay. She's going to grow by 4. He's going to go by 1. We're up in the lead now. So, like I said, guys, I should have switched these 2 bleeds because it was actually a bleed 5 I could have put on this spell weaver. So if it counts all the way down, it would last for longer. We get more value, etc., etc. So that was a mistake there. Hoping my opponent just starts passing. If my opponent passes and I take this win, we're even on cards, which is nice. If not, I might just consider passing because I'm going to be growing by 5 every turn anyways. So it just depends what he plays.
I hope we can trust him.
It's going to be able to lock Oriana. Okay, so I'm only growing by 1 now. But my opponent is going down by 4 every turn, so that's good too. I can actually dominance now that Oriana's big, so we're going to go ahead and play the Wild Hunt Riders. And pass. Of course, I grow again. My opponent's going to lose another 4. Like, we've kind of done a really good job here and actually, baited out Margarita. We've baited out the, wherever she is, this silly person, Sabrina. So not bad. Again, wishing I hadn't mixed up the bleeds there, but looks like we're going to be wrapping up this round pretty soon, unless my opponent commits something really, really big, which we're hoping they don't do. Especially considering these cards, with the exception of Alp, like Weavis and Katakan are going to be pretty good, pushing at least pushing a short round. Okay, cool. Now, do I want to... My opponent's going to lose 3 more at the start of their turn, and I'm going to take 1. I'm going to gain 1. I think I just want to go play the Alp. Because it's not very good. So we'll just play that here. Damage there. Once again, there's the pass. And we'll pass. We'll secure this win. We're even on cards. We're hopefully going to be able to push round 2 and take the win away from this silly Northern Realms deck. Now, Henselt still hasn't been used, so that's a pretty big bonus for my opponent. Good news, though, we did get Wispus Tribute, so we'll be able to tutor out either Parasite or Crimson Curse. I think we're going to want to go Crimson Curse pretty early, but the only thing, though, is we may want to just go Parasite because I don't have a lot of vampires. So I think I'm going to throw back the Plumard. Get the Protoflutter. This is a great hand to push with. I think we just lead with Katakan, and we'll probably end up playing the Parasite, but if not, we can just see from there. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So we lead with Katakan here. Where do we want to put this? Does this have to be anywhere? Okay, yeah, Katakan's going to go melee. Perfect. And again, we have 2 of the Crones, we have a Protoflutter and a Wispus. Wispus can grab our Parasite or our Crimson Curse if my opponent is instead playing his own sort of engine-y strategy. That is a Lyrian Arbalist. We're probably going to want to kill that. I think we're going to Protoflutter that. We do have Dominance. Nom 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 nom. And actually, we did get the growing, the Thrive from the Catacane, so that worked out really, really nicely. There's another Lyrian Cavalry. Whenever you play a unit with orders, boost self by 1. Those can be pretty tough. We're going to go ahead and we're going to Weavus. Well, I could go Tribute and get the... Let's see, how much... What does Tribute do? So if I play Tribute and I go and grab... if I go and grab a Crimson Curse and blow up the Ekimara, at the start of the next turn, so it'll be a 2-turn curse. It'll be the start of the next turn, I'll get 4 points. The start of the next turn, I'll get another 4 points. That'll be an 8-point play as opposed to a 6-point play with the Parasite. I'm okay with that. Cool. Let's do it. Gotta get that Blood Moon out, baby. Look at that. Look at that row. Oh, so cool. Alright, gonna turn these into Kaedweni Revenants. Okay. Well, I think we're alright with that for now. I'm gonna go ahead and Weavus. And we're gonna boost the... we're gonna boost Wispus. Hopefully out of the range of some of these goons. Now, we don't know, but heck, even if my opponent
you sure as shit need me.
okay, is able to bring out one of those guys, I'm going to grow 2 more points, and I'm going to be able to play my Wispus and zap this Kaedweni Revenant. And we pass. Hopefully my opponent can't get 14 points in 1 turn. Does still have Hinselt ability. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a close one. Hey, we got it! We got it! The Blood Moon reigns supreme. Oh, good game, good game. Oh, gosh. I love vampires.